Lagos, situated in the southwestern part of Nigeria, is the largest capital in the country, a melting pot for all, a city like none in Nigeria. So has its history not been like any in the country. From its inception in 1861 as a British colony, Lagos had always been the commercial capital of Nigeria and was Nigeria's political capital till its movement of the Federal Capital Territory to Abuja in 1990. That notwithstanding, Lagos remains the nerve center of the country. From politics to commerce, Lagos has always been the playground of politicians and businessmen. But lately, a playground, no pun intended, has it been for one man. The great Lagos that we know, the city of dreams and hope, a place where fairness and equity was the watchword, is no longer that Lagos of our dreams. Rather, it has become a mystery how just one man can play the masquerade and the masquerader in a macabre dance, taking the populace nowhere but misery, poverty and doom. And yet, he smiles to the bank, enjoying all the trappings of wealth. Who is this one man that is all so powerful to hold down the collective dreams of all? At various times in his questionable and weird past, he could have been known by numerous names and sobriquets like Yakini Amoda Ogunlere, Hamid Shangodele, Adekunle Tinubu or Bobo Chicago. But he is known and addressed today as Ashiwaju Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Jagaban of Bogu Kingdom, a former senator representing Lagos West Senatorial District, former governor of Lagos State on the platform of the Alliance for Democracy AD, and current national leader of the All Progressives Congress APC. With an enviable CV, it is best to deconstruct the real man called Ashiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in order to unravel the facade he has been able to successfully build with time using several cronies and accomplices. The story of Bola Tinubu can best suit that of an Arabian Nights tale, a modern-day Ali Baba and 40 thieves. But you all will be the judge at the end of this film as we unmask the real Tinubu, the infamous lion of Bedelian, the Jagaban Bogu, who arguably is the biggest landlord in Nigeria.
The real enemy is the man who stole the city hall. The enemy is the refugee upstart who seized the local government secretariat at Glover Road in Ikoyi. Our collective enemy is the greedy man who bought the old nurse's house at Falomo, the Falomo shopping complex, the Lagos State Polytechnic property at Ojota, the stretches of acres at Lekki, the old Strabag yard in Alausa, the innumerable beachfront properties long owned by the people of Lagos State, the billion-naira Queen's Drive mansion, the illegal Lekki toll gate, the First Nation airline, the strings of media conglomerates, the vault and garden cemetery, even the cemetery.
Based on the mountains of sustained petitions and indictments for alleged corrupt enrichment while in and or out of office, Tinubu is maybe the most indicted governor in the history of Lagos State since its creation in 1967. Like every story, we will start from the beginning. To start with, it is no secret that Tinubu is a native of Iragbiji, a hilly rural town situated 3 kilometers away from Ikiru in Osun State. Bola Ahmed Adekunle Tinubu was born supposedly on 29 March 1952 in the city of Lagos. He allegedly attended St. John's Primary School, Aroloya, Lagos, and the Children's Home School in Ibadan. Tinubu went to the United States in 1975, where he allegedly studied first at Richard J. Daley College in Chicago, Illinois, and then at Chicago State University. He graduated in 1979 with a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting. Even Wikipedia is silent on Tinubu's attendance of Government College, Ibadan. Such is the web of lies and deceit that makes the man more odious and dangerous to those who can see beyond the mask. Today, Lagos has a debt crisis, a taxation crisis, an education crisis, an environmental crisis, and an infrastructure crisis. A burden placed by Tinubu as governor of Lagos State and further deepened astronomical heights under his godson, the incumbent governor, Babatunde Fashola, in a perfectly laid out wheel of corruption. His political career began in 1992 when he was elected to the Nigerian Senate representing the Lagos West's constituency in the short-lived Nigerian Third Republic. In the run-up to the 1999 elections, Bola Tinubu was a protege of Alliance for Democracy AD leaders Abraham Adesanya and Ayo Adebanjo. He won the AD primaries for the Lagos State gubernatorial elections in competition with Funsho Williams and Wahab Dosumu, a former Minister of Works and Housing. The rest is history. He won and became governor of Lagos. When he assumed office in May 1999, little did Lagos know that they just entered what is traditionally called one chance, a journey to nowhere. As he took his oath and addressed the good people of Lagos who voted him, Bola Ahmed Tinubu promised 10,000 housing units for the poor, a promise he did not fulfill. Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu has become a personification of what is wrong with Lagos. Just as his word is law, he can do and undo. What started out like an act of drama at the beginning of the current democratic dispensation in 1999 has left Nigeria's premier state, Lagos, as a mere fiefdom of Tinubu, who bears the titular toga of the Lion of Badilian. Considering his grip on Lagos, Tinubu dispenses the power and authority of an emperor. He possesses the trappings of a Sicilian-type robber baron or a Roman emperor, foisted on the Yoruba nation. The Governor-General of Lagos State. Ever since his inglorious 8 years rule as Governor of Lagos from 1999 to 2007, on the platform of the Alliance for Democracy AD to date, he has been accused of being the looter-in-chief who has unleashed the most egregious corruption and reckless looting on the treasury of Lagos State. Even as he hides under the guise of championing democratic principles, various frauds, including financial crimes, have been linked to him, such that he can only be summed up as a perpetrator of diabolical deeds. Tinubu's dubious activities came to the fore quite early during his tenure as Lagos governor. After just being sworn in 1999, the late legal luminary and human rights lawyer, Chief Gani Fawemi, instituted legal actions challenging Tinubu's academic qualifications, which were discovered to be forged. The case of perjury, which has been hanging on his neck ever since then, is yet to be dispensed with, even as he can no longer hide under immunity clause as a governor. Being the questionable character he is said to be, the only response Tinubu could give to the premeditated Lagos House Assembly ad hoc committee set up to clear him of the perjury charge raised against him by Chief Fawemi in 1999 was to admit full responsibility for some of the needless errors, whatever that means. He told the convoluted story to the Kangaroo Committee that as a result of the acrimonious primaries of the Alliance for Democracy in the run-up to the elections, that the information contained in both the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC form and the affidavit of loss of certificates was supplied by one of his political aides, Senator Tokunbo Afikuyomi. While the fraud spotted in the INEC form CF01 had exposed Tinubu as claiming that he attended St. Paul's Primary School, Aroloya, Lagos for his primary school education, the ad hoc committee helped him adjust it to the claim that he attended St. John's Primary School, Aroloya, Lagos. It was clearly a case of a grand fraud applied to cover an initial fraud, because all through the findings of the Kangaroo Committee, no mention was made of any testimony from any of Tinubu's classmates in the primary or secondary schools supporting his claim. One begins to wonder if Tinubu attended the school alone. In the INEC form CF01, to contest the 1999 elections, Tinubu made false claims that he attended Government College Ibadan. The detail was visibly omitted in 2003 when he ran for re-election. Hard as they try, the case has however refused to die, as questions have frequently been asked on what has happened. The irrepressible Senator Ogunlewe had asked then, did Tinubu lie under oath that he attended St. Paul's Primary School, Aroloya, Lagos, which was not and is not in existence, Government College Ibadan and the University of Chicago, the inglorious role played by the State Assembly to aid and abet Tinubu in this grand deceit could only be compared to Emperor Nero playing on his harp while Rome burns. One begins to wonder the hold Tinubu has over the Assembly up to this present dispensation many years out of office. This is easily surmised with events that happened in 2007 after the inauguration of Fashola as governor of Lagos. Never in history has any parliament adjourned its official proceedings and marched to the private residence of a politician not holding public office to pledge the parliament unconditional allegiance to that politician. But that's exactly what happened in June 2007, immediately after the Lagos State Assembly was inaugurated by the governor, Raji Fashola, when 99% of the state parliamentarians rushed to Bola Tinubu's private residence to pledge the Lagos Parliament's allegiance to Bola Tinubu in his then private capacity, with the incumbent governor, Raji Fashola, merely looking on, having been pawned to remain in shock. Overlaying all of this is Bola Tinubu's absolute personal control of Lagos state government. Tinubu has turned Lagos into oceans of poverty containing islands of wealth. No wonder he still bears the appellation Governor General of Lagos. Whatever that means, your guess is as good as mine. A look at history will do us all good if we are to understand the narcissist nature of the man Tinubu. Tinubu's tenure as Lagos State Governor ended on 29th May 2007 and Babatunde Fashola of the Action Congress took office. Fashola had been Chief of Staff to Bola Tinubu and political godson of Asiwaju Tinubu. In April 2007, the federal government brought Asiwaju Bola Tinubu before the Code of Conduct Tribunal for trial over alleged illegal operation of 16 separate foreign accounts. In September 2009, the British Metropolitan Police were investigating a transaction in which the Tinubu-led Lagos state government made an investment in Econet, now Airtel. The federal government rejected a request by Britain to release evidence needed for further investigation and prosecution of the 3 Nigerian ex-governors in a London court. The perceived web of corruption allegedly created by Asiwaju Bola Tinubu while in power is worrisome, even after officially vacating office. By this, he effectively planted his cronies all over the machinery of governance and decision-making. Taxation is one of the means through which Tinubu has consistently enriched himself with the revenue of Lagos State. This has become not just a conduit of siphoning of state fund, but a tapestry of a grand master plan of corruption by one man. By the end of the tenure of Bola Tinubu, IGR was over 10 billion naira, and now under the governorship of Babatunde Fashola, IGR in Lagos State is over 200 billion naira per annum. Revenue collection in Lagos State was contracted out to private consultants called Alpha Beta under Tinubu, and they still continue to collect revenue under the Fashola administration. But why was Alpha Beta selected as the preferred consultant? Did the government invite consultancy bids for the contract? How many consultancy companies submitted bids for the contract? Considering that Alpha Beta has no known track record of revenue collection, what were the criteria used in selecting Alpha Beta? Tinubu's alleged ownership of Alpha Beta Consulting might explain his strong defense of the tax company, to the extent of reeling out Alpha Beta's resume, even when not directly prompted.
Interested in your relationship with Alpha Beta?
It's just like my relationship with Julius Berger, like any other company doing business for Lagos. And it is extremely important and efficient, and we are building internal control from the ground up. They have exhibited their knowledge in biometric, establishing a control system and re-engineer the finances of Lagos.
It is no surprise to see Tinubu rise in strong and spirited defense of Alpha Beta Consulting, his company. From 2000 to 2009, Alpha Beta allegedly took 15% of all tax revenues generated by the state of Lagos. In the past 5 years, it has taken 10%, which means that Alpha Beta has pocketed approximately 13% of our money during the governorships of Tinubu and Fashola. This is ridiculously scandalous in itself. Approximately 1.464 trillion naira has been raised in tax in the past 15 years, monies which should clearly be invested back into the state, but it is not.